16th century England was a nation defined by uncertainty. Power was fragile, religion divided families and kingdoms, loyalty shifted with survival. To be born close to the throne was not a blessing, but a danger. In this volatile world, one woman would survive betrayal, imprisonment, foreign invasion, and political isolation. Elizabeth Tudor was born on September 7, 1533, at Greenwich Palace, along the River Thames. Her birth occurred during a national crisis. Her father, King Henry VIII, had broken from the Catholic Church in order to marry her mother, Anne Boleyn. England itself was divided. Elizabeth's birth was expected to secure the Tudor dynasty. Instead, it disappointed the king. She was not the male heir Henry demanded. Anne Boleyn's position at court was unstable. She had enemies among the nobility, the clergy, and even within the king's inner circle. In May 1536, when Elizabeth was not yet 3 years old, her mother was arrested. Anne Boleyn was charged with adultery and treason. The trial was swift. The verdict was predetermined. Anne Boleyn was executed. Elizabeth lost her mother before she could remember her. Soon after, she was declared illegitimate by law. Her title as princess was removed. Her household was reduced. Her future became uncertain. Between 1536 and 1547, Elizabeth lived largely removed from court politics. She was moved between royal estates and noble households. She lived quietly, watched carefully, and learned to observe rather than speak. She witnessed her father marry again and again. Jane Seymour gave Henry a son, Edward. She died shortly after childbirth. Other queens followed. Some survived. Some did not. Elizabeth learned a critical lesson early in life. Power was temporary. Favor could vanish overnight. Despite her diminished status, Elizabeth received an extraordinary education. She was taught reading, writing, music, mathematics, and religion. She studied Latin and Greek. She became fluent in French and Italian. She read classical philosophy, Roman history, and Christian theology. Education became her protection. Through books, Elizabeth learned how rulers gained authority, how kingdoms collapsed, and how mistakes led to destruction. In 1547, King Henry VIII died. Elizabeth was 13 years old. Her half-brother Edward VI became king. Edward's reign was dominated by advisors who pushed England firmly toward Protestant reform. Elizabeth adapted carefully. She understood that survival required flexibility. Edward VI's reign was short. In 1553, he died at the age of 15. Once again, England faced uncertainty. After a brief struggle for power, Elizabeth's half-sister Mary Tudor became queen. Mary I was a devout Catholic. She was determined to restore England's relationship with the Catholic Church. Her reign was marked by religious persecution. Elizabeth, a Protestant with a strong claim to the throne, became a political threat. Rebellions erupted against Mary's rule. Elizabeth's name was spoken in whispers. In 1554, Elizabeth was arrested on suspicion of treason. She was taken by barge along the River Thames to the Tower of London. For many before her, this journey ended in execution. Elizabeth believed she might die. She entered the tower knowing the history of those who had passed through its gates. She chose her words carefully. Eventually, she was released, but she was not free. From 1554 to 1558, Elizabeth lived under constant surveillance. She was confined to country estates. Guards monitored her movements. Her letters were examined. Elizabeth learned patience. She learned restraint. She learned how to survive power without holding it. In November 1558, Queen Mary died. Elizabeth was 25 years old. She became Queen of England. Her accession was peaceful, but her challenges were immense. England was divided by religion. Its economy was weak. Foreign powers waited for failure. Many doubted her. She was young. She was unmarried. She had no heir. Elizabeth understood that authority depended on image. She crafted her public presence carefully. She appeared calm, measured, and controlled. She spoke deliberately. She listened closely. From 1558 to the early 1560s, Elizabeth focused on stabilizing the kingdom. She restored Protestant governance. She avoided mass persecution. She sought outward conformity rather than forced belief. Her goal was unity. Throughout the 1560s, Elizabeth faced constant pressure to marry. Parliament urged her to secure the succession. Foreign princes offered alliances. Elizabeth refused to rush. In 1568, Mary, Queen of Scots, fled to England. Mary sought Elizabeth's protection. Instead, she became a prisoner. Mary possessed a legitimate claim to the English throne. She became a rallying point for Catholic conspiracies. For years, Elizabeth hesitated. She feared executing a fellow monarch. Plots continued. Pressure increased. Throughout the 1570s and 1580s, England faced growing foreign threats. Relations with Spain deteriorated. Elizabeth supported English exploration and naval expansion. England's confidence grew. In 1586, undeniable evidence tied Mary, Queen of Scots, to a plot to assassinate Elizabeth. The danger was clear. In 1587, Mary, Queen of Scots, was executed. Elizabeth was deeply shaken, but England was safer. In 1588, Spain launched the Spanish Armada. It was the greatest threat of Elizabeth's reign. England was outnumbered. Fear spread. Elizabeth responded with resolve. She addressed her troops personally. Her words inspired loyalty. Through strategy, naval skill, and fortune, England defeated the Armada. The victory transformed England's place in the world. From this moment forward, Elizabeth's authority was unquestioned. The 1590s marked Elizabeth's later reign. Many of her closest advisors died. Though still respected, she became increasingly isolated. She continued to rule with discipline and dignity. After 44 years on the throne, Queen Elizabeth I died in March 1603. The nation mourned deeply. Her reign became known as the Elizabethan Golden Age. It was a time of culture, exploration, and national identity. Elizabeth entered history unwanted. She left it immortal. Elizabeth I did not simply rule England, she defined an era. If you enjoy classic historical documentaries, subscribe to Echoes of History for more stories that shape the world.